Hey Run Junkies, welcome back to Runners Without Limits TV. We are back down here in the Pain Cave doing a Dots and Donuts episode. And in this episode, we have one final leg of the Run Disney season for 22-23. Princess Half Marathon is going on right as this episode posts, and we are going to get ourselves from Princess Half Marathon weekend to the Springtime Surprise Challenge. So let me tell you how I'm tackling that. Let's have some fun today. Okay, we have 51 days between the Princess Half Marathon on Sunday, February 26th, to the Springtime Surprise Expo on Thursday, April 13th. I'm not going to say that we're just coasting it in to springtime, but the running volume is not nearly as intense as it was going into the Dopey Challenge. As I mentioned in my Dopey to Princess episode, link above, I didn't rush back into high mileage to get to Princess. In fact, my longest run since the marathon was 10 miles. The Princess Half will be my longest run probably until we get into the fall season of training, when I start training for Dopey again. Because of the low volume and intensity for January and February, and since the springtime 10 miler is sort of the ultimate endpoint for this training cycle, I'm not really going to have a taper or a recovery period for Princess like I did with the Dopey Challenge. So I'm kind of treating it a lot like how I treated Wine and Dine, right? All of the races are going to be easy, well-supported training days, fun, nothing too challenging. Now, after Princess, I'll take a week to recover from the sleep deprivation and post-Run Disney fatigue, then get back into training as I have while I was leading into Princess. So with the February event, including a 5K, 10K, and half marathon, the Springtime Surprise is a 5K, 10K, and 10 miler. So the volume of training is going to stay pretty easy, pretty much where I've been so far. Now, I've only clocked about 3 or 4 hours a week of running, as opposed to like twice that. And it's been very light on speed work. So going into springtime, I may start adding in some speed just to mix it up now that I'm recovered from Dopey, just to maintain my current paces. The hope is that I'm not going to lose too much speed this year. I'm still spending a lot of time on my feet too, spending a lot of walking time on the treadmill and outside. One thing I'm doing much more of in terms of volume, but also in terms of intensity, is my strength training. Now, I'm going to leave a link to the YouTube channel that I follow in the description. I've been doing almost 3 hours a week of strength training. I'm working on lifting heavier weights as well. Because one thing I'm really bad at when it comes to strength training is that I have a tendency to just lift lighter than I really need to, just so I can finish the set rather than pushing myself to a slightly heavier weight so those last reps are really hard so I can kind of push myself to failure. So I have been trying to push myself a little bit more in the strength training discipline. Now, for the last couple of weeks leading into Princess, I've been really happy with my progress on that too. And this program forces me to do exercises I don't really like doing, like core. So if you've been following me for a while, you might remember that I like doing my Run the Year challenges. And I'm doing that again for 2,023 miles in 2023. As part of that, March is a streaker month. And I'm going to be spending at least 1 deliberate mile on my feet every day throughout the month. So that's coming up right after Princess. That's going to help keep the motivation up. It's going to get me outside a little bit more, especially as we start seeing more daylight hours coming into spring. But that's really how I'm going to get from Princess to springtime, where the Dopey Challenge looked more like this, with about 55% of my training time running. Springtime is going to look a lot more like this, with a more balanced distribution across all disciplines, all of which will help me finish the Run Disney season healthy and strong. Before I go today, I want to thank those donors who helped support Sophie and Madigan's Playground for the Princess 5K and Fairy Tale Challenge. We raised $1,450, and folks, you should see the amazing things that this organization is doing for its community. This money is going to help kids of all abilities play, learn, and create. I'll leave a link to Sophie and Madigan's playground in the description. That's going to do it for me, you guys. By the way, if you see me at Princess Half Marathon weekend in the parks, on course, wherever, please, please, please come and say hello. I've had so many wonderful interactions with you already this season, and meeting you face to face is one of my favorite things about Run Disney events. My question for you today is this: how are you preparing for the springtime surprise? Please leave thoughts, questions, comments, and suggestions for future videos in the comment section down below. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, you have no limits. Happy running.